this work here. I feel he's about 7th. Okay, but anyway, so this is a treat for us. For the Chinese back then, it's highly revered of a work in China world, because it gives them insights into enlightenment, the state of enlightenment. Okay, so this is why we are looking into it, to see why they're so revered in China. Okay, so 95, it says all activities are impermanent, everything is empty. Okay. So, commentary slide. All activities. Activities here is not in the sense of the skandhas, but sing here. This is the early days of the Chinese Chan. So I don't think he was into the 5 skandhas yet. So the sing here in Chinese is activity, translates as activity, and supposedly in Buddhist teachings, sing here is one of the 5 skandhas that we Buddhists learn about and work on in order to become enlightened. Okay, but it's not what it means here. He says basically, sing here is everything you do. Okay, so what happens to us is that when we do things, that's when it really matters to us. So that's why that's timeless. We talk about it, we like to talk about it, and talk is cheap. It's not until you actually do it, that's when it really matters. Okay, it says even when we do things that's important to us, it's all impermanent, meaning they don't last. Nothing that we do will last forever. Okay, anything at all, and therefore he says everything is empty. This is Chinese wisdom. Everything is empty. Everything is false. Everything is empty. 97. That is the great and perfect enlightenment of the thus come ones. So, Master YongHua says, if you get to that state, then you have in common this with the Buddhas, the wisdom of the Buddha. Okay, great means that it's highly valued, it's highly recognized. When you say great, it's because it's recognized by outsiders that it is very impressive, that it is a very high standard. That's why it's called great. So it is being recognized by others, meaning others who are also of the same caliber, who can understand, recognize it as great. Okay? So, meaning that this is recognized by the other Buddhas, this is recognized by the Bodhisattvas. The people who are enlightened, they recognize this as great and perfect. Perfect meaning that it has nothing lacking, it's nothing that is wrong, everything is perfect. Okay? And so you cannot do better than this. So this is very high standards. This is kind of interesting for us worldly people in the world who are not enlightened yet or who are somewhat enlightened. Then it's a reminder there's something called perfection of enlightenment. Okay, so that's why it's called perfect. Okay, so speaking of enlightenment, there are three types of enlightenments that we know. Enlightenment of oneself, number one. Number two, enlightenment of others. And third, the perfected enlightenment, a perfect enlightenment. Okay, so I memorized this when I first started, and now it's clearer and clearer why there's such distinction. Enlightenment, when you have enlightenment of oneself, that is a reminder that you have wisdom. Okay? Until you are enlightened yourself, then you really don't have wisdom yet. Wisdom means you don't really understand. You like a child and who's not mature yet, who's not of age yet, and therefore he's limited, the child is limited in its capacity to absorb, to understand, to do. Okay? So this enlightenment level is very important. Enlightenment of oneself, of the self, means that you're enlightened to the fact that the self is empty. Worldly people think that the self is real. And that's why they're confused. That's why they are tormented and afflicted by the self. Okay? So the Buddhist practice is the Buddhas recognize it, so he trained his disciples to get rid of the self, enlightened to the fact that the self is a source of our suffering, is a source of our confusion. Until you're willing to face that, until you accept it, you will not be able to enlighten yourself. Okay, so you see how interesting of a teaching it is, because nowadays, especially in the Western culture, Western education, we worship the self. Yes, that's, for example, here in the U.S., we praise the quality of individualism. We respect and revere the individuals. Okay, so basically, we are inflating our ego, and it's highly praised. It's totally acceptable, and because of that, you see, we actually are perpetuating the confusion, and the Western culture prizes that and is very proud of it. Okay, for example, they demand equality. They demand me, and that's perfectly okay. Okay, you go to Wall Street, famous saying, greed is good. Okay, when you're greedy, then it's a good thing. Okay, and so you encourage this self thing here that is the source of confusion and the source of all the unhappiness in the world. Okay, and so we see that culturally, what ordinary people prize is actually they prize confusion. Okay, and it's unfortunate. And this is the only way out of it is for them to turn to Buddhism, who is the only place where they have a track record of destroying the self, okay, enlightening the self, okay, by recognizing that there is no self. And that's the concept of emptying the ego, emptying the self. And that is called enlightenment. Okay, so in the worldly circles, you will not find this kind of perspective. If you go to the scholars or the bookworms, they talk about it. They said, it's you're suffering according to Buddhism because of this self here, because of the ego here. But they only talk about it. They don't know how to enlighten the self, how to empty the ego. You look at another way in Buddhism, is that we may have the insight that enlightenment is to empty the ego, empty the self, but it's not talk. In our world, in the Buddhist world, emptying the self means there is a certificate, there is an acknowledgement from the people who recognize. You remember the concept of great? Great is there are people who are qualified, who have done it before, who reached this level before, and that's why the only way you get is to get stamp of approval by the people in the know. And they recognize that you are able to enlighten the self. This is a very, very important concept that the world doesn't have. Okay, and we Buddhists need to appreciate this more. Okay, so the goal of Buddhism is to do something in order to enlighten oneself. And that's the price. It's not fame. It's not the temples. It's not recognition. It's not the bank accounts. It's not the disciples. Okay? It's not the books that you publish. But for us, the measuring stick is, are you enlightened? Are you able to rise above the crowd? If you are, then in our circles, the Buddha disciples who are enlightened, okay, they are recognized by the assembly. They are praised and worshipped and revered by the assembly. It used to be the case. It's not the case anymore. Okay? So we in the West, it would take a long, long time, many centuries before that happens again. Okay? But in India, in China, where they have a history of the practice of Buddhism, Mahayana, for a long, long time, then over time you have built this league, if you will, this association, this network of enlightened beings in India. Used to be the case, and now was the case, and then next it was China, and now we're beginning to build it in the United States. Okay? So the first level of recognition, worthwhile achievement in Buddhism is to enlighten yourself. Next level is learn to enlighten others. Yes, Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. I have a question in regards to enlightening oneself. In this day and age, a lot of people get books. They try to read through meditation and find some, and the word enlightenment doesn't mean the same in the Western world. It just means someone who probably reads a lot or has some ideas, but not as we've been taught in Buddhism what enlightenment is. So would you say that even if someone reads books and they're sincere and all that, could they reach some level of enlightenment on their own? Don't they need some help, like from a good knowing advisor?
They don't necessarily need a good knowing advisor. There are plenty of worldly people who are enlightened who do not have a good knowing advisor. The reason we use the concept of good knowing advisor in our China world is because it's the best way to practice that will have the highest yield. For example, when you manufacture chips, computer chips, mind you, not potato chips. Okay, then you want the highest yield possible for your process. Okay, and that's why it takes, not every company can manufacture chips. And so therefore, these companies are able to stay in business because they have high yield. They produce chips that are cheap and that are price competitive and high quality. Okay? And so it's not talk, it's concrete in terms of results. It's recognized and it's priced by the marketplace. Same thing in Buddhism. When we talk, whatever the world talks about enlightenment is just another word. Whatever they do is whatever they do. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not offended by that. I don't feel threatened by it. Okay? Live and let live. Is it live or let die? I don't remember anymore. Never mind. Okay. You don't watch James Bond, do you? How can you live like this in Korea? Huh? Anyway, so live and let live. Whatever they want to do, whatever they call, it's okay. Don't feel threatened, don't feel offended. I used to be worried. I said, we talk enlightenment, and I've met many people, especially many Caucasians, okay, when I first started 25 years ago, 30 years ago, many Caucasians walked into our temples, my Chan class, and said, I've been enlightened, and so and so and so. And he talks like, like an idiot. But, but I used to be so worried about it, not knowing what to do about it, okay? And not anymore. I learned to embrace it. If you feel you're enlightened, whether you're Buddhist or non-Buddhist, it's okay. I embrace it. I accept you, whatever you want to do, okay? But remember great here? Okay? Great is we want to be recognized by the people in the know. That's all that matters. You go to university, universities are well known because the peers recognize them of their competence, of their specialty. Same thing here. If the rest of the world talk about enlightenment, they feel free. It's not exclusive to Buddhism. Anyone can talk about it, whether it's the scholars, whether it's the Taoists, whether it's the Hindus and so forth, whether it's people who are confused, they can talk. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. However, for us, enlightenment here has a stamp of approval. Okay? And whether you have a good knowing advisor or not, it doesn't matter at all, as long as you have this stamp of approval by this league, by this network of people who are enlightened. And there are plenty of them. both lay people and left home people. Okay? Did I answer your question or your comment?
Yes, Master, thank you.
So don't worry about them. Whatever they want to talk about is perfectly okay. Embrace it. They say, oh, you're enlightened? Okay, I'm glad for you. Okay? But here's what's different. Okay? What is the standard? If you enlighten, okay, then are you free from suffering? Are you free from afflictions? Huh? And that's a personal thing. Enlightenment is not meant for you to go and brag about it and try to make money of it. Enlightenment is a state of happiness that you yourself experience. And because you experience it and you look around, see how people are not able to do that, you should feel empathy or at least pity for others who are suffering, and you're not. Okay? Yes, question here. 5.
Master, this is kind of a two-parter. In enlightenment, the experience of non-self, is that a permanent experience, or is that just like a glimpse and then you pass the bare entry into enlightenment? Secondly, if it is possible to have a permanent experience of non-self, at what stage of arhatship is that state?
Enlightenment of the self is a state of mind where you realize the self is empty. Meaning what? Meaning that someone pinches you or slaps you. Okay? You experience pain. Because who experiences pain? The self experiences pain. Okay? That's real. Anyone disagree with me? You want proof? Anyone wants proof? Okay? So, I slap you, it hurts. Yes? It hurts because it's a self that hurts. Yes? If you are self-enlightened, you have a choice. You said, it hurts, I deserve it. I will take the hurt. Okay? I should hurt because I deserve it. I screwed up, I should hurt. I should be punished. I should be hurt so that I remember this and I will not make the same mistake again. It's a personal choice. Yes? However, if you feel you are innocent, anyone? No? No one. If you feel you're innocent, you say, this hurt here doesn't make sense. And you could empty the self because the self says, oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. You said, I will empty this ouch here. And instantaneously, the hurt is gone. The people who are enlightened have that ability. They don't cease to exist like we like to think they're enlightened, therefore they're perfect. No, enlightenment is a state of mind where you see things clearly. Does it help? It's not a concept. It's not something you talk about. It's an experience. There's something you experience. You have a choice. Okay? Ouch. This person shouldn't have not hit me. I don't deserve this. I don't need to suffer because he or she is wrong. You empty yourself, the pain is gone immediately. because you choose to go in a state where there's no self who's hurting. That's wisdom. Is it clear? So it's very useful. It's not, enlightenment is not something like you have to die before you experience enlightenment. Enlightenment is a state of mind where you empty the ego, you empty the self. And that's a fourth stage arhat. Below that, you can't. Yes, DTT.
I want to ask if I'm going the right way. If not, can you show me what I can do to go to the right direction?
The what?
So,
Go to
I
where?
just want.
Where would you like
show
to
me
go?
I don't know.
No, I couldn't
Anyway.
hear the last word of that sentence. As I was, where do you want to go again?
The right direction.
Sausalito?
No, I don't need to go Sausalito.
What, they have good ice cream there.
It's okay. Anyways, I've been working on myself for a while now on
No.
2 things.
Okay.
And the first one is sleeping. So I thought I got kind of a handle on it. But then the last couple of weeks, it seems like I'm relapsing. So I'm a little bit sleepy again.
No,
And,
you can't do that.
Why not?
You can't do that. You can't sleep. You can't slack off. Time is of the essence. Life is impermanent. You have to cultivate.
I'm trying.
Don't sleep. There you go. Question answered.
And the other thing is about the boys, I guess. I don't care for physical contact, but I like to see them. I like to look at pretty cute boys. But
Wait.
recently,
Are you sure you want to bring this up in public?
yeah, why not?
The police might be watching.
It's okay. I'm just looking. I'm not doing anything. But anyways, I think the last couple of weeks, I don't even really care for them anymore. So am I going the right way, or am I just suppressing my feelings?
You don't care for boys anymore?
Not really.
No girls? You live in San Francisco.
Master, I don't like that kind of stuff.
Okay, is it in the right direction? I hope so. What do you want me to say? You think I look like a therapist? Huh? Go see a therapist. Say, doctor, I don't like boys anymore. Okay, only in our classes where people ask these very intimate, give us such intimate details of the personal lives and hoping for a miracle. Hey lady, we don't deliver miracles. You still have to work hard. Don't sleep, okay? Okay, and this is how we the Asian practice. Not like these people. They work a little bit. I work so much, so they stand up and they walk around and they talk to each other. They gab. Okay, especially the Koreans. They work a little bit and then they get up and go and drink tea together and talk for hours. Especially at my temples in K-Land. Am I right, huh? Chakyon? Huh? Is that right? That's what you guys do? You sit for an hour and then you stand up and talk for 7 hours? Okay, so this is why you guys are in trouble. You have to work. Don't stop. Who does that? Raise your hand. No one? No wonder none of you is enlightened. Okay, you're in the right track, nothing to worry about. You like the boys again.
I will.
Promise.
Thank you, Master.
Now, look how relieved she is. Okay, so enlightenment of the self is certified. Okay? It's not something anyone can claim, by the way. It's certified by the Great Assembly, by the Great Network. We recognize it. And therefore, what does recognition do for you? You put in the special club where you are treated differently and you are protected and taken care of. By the way, it's a privilege. Buddhas now know your name. I say, so-and-so, yeah, club member. For life. Never mind, I will not be afflicted. I choose not to be afflicted. Okay? Was there a question somehow? Okay. So this enlightenment here, this in the Buddhist circles, you don't have to be Buddhist. For many, many people here in the U.S. are enlightened, but they're not Buddhists, and that's perfectly okay. Okay, but we still recognize you, and we still find ways to help you. How? Because you don't stop there. In order for you to keep on making it better for yourself, and this is the next step of enlightenment, much better than the enlightenment of the self is. Next level is much, much more difficult, but is so much more wonderful, is by learning to make others enlightened. So you see, what I just told you is very clear about the standards in Buddhism. Okay? You may belong to a club of enlightened people, but which level are you? 1, 2, or 3? 2 meaning that can you enlighten others? And that carries a very important message. Number 1, this much better, much more rewarding, much more beneficial level of enlightenment called enlightenment of others. And why do we do that? Because it's so much better. For those, as I said, the club of enlightened people, of the people who have put an end to their egos, to their selves, is a huge network out there of people. Okay? And so the Buddha says, don't stop there. It's much better, much more rewarding, much more fascinating, much more fun. Okay? So much more that it's not possible to put a number on it for you, multiply it on it for you. And that's why those people who believe it and they go towards it, okay, they will also give a testimony that's the case. Okay, that's why it's greater enlightenment than the first one. First level enlightenment yourself is impressive, but much greater is enlightenment of others, which also carries a second concept, second tip, is that in order for you to get there, you have to help others. You have to learn to help others. And what's the most important kind of help for the others is to help them become enlightened. To help others by giving them food, it's not that big of a deal except at lunchtime. See? So it's very limited. But when, people prize, for example, rich people, they prize, I'm now rich, I want fame, I want to do philanthropy, and they think it's a wonderful thing, okay? Philanthropy, okay? But actually, that is nothing compared to the people who enlighten others. That's the most important kind of help. Okay? And so it was never explained to us from the Chinese teaching, Buddhist teaching. They only said enlightenment of self, enlightenment of others. Actually, I think what's the missing link here is underappreciated by this incredible insight is that you can only get there by helping others. So get started now. The mindset is that you're doing this. The great things in life that you can achieve is by believing in helping others. That is wisdom. You believe in this, you will get to level number 2. It's not framing, it's not cutting pavers. Although I would like to have a water filter in the kitchen. It helps. Just a minute, let me finish. This is a very important point, the water filter. Okay? The point being that the seeds must be planted in you about the importance of helping others. You get started with that, and what is the best way to help others is to help them end their suffering. Yeah? And how to end their suffering is the only way for them is to become enlightened. So inherently, the second level of enlightenment here requires you to develop the skills. First of all, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. First of all, develop the belief that we must help others as a human being. And number 2, not just a belief, but the ability to help others. That's how you'll be recognized by the great people of the universe. And they will certify you as to be able to enlighten others. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Master, Is this level 2, reserved for the Sangha, that they are able to enlighten others?
Okay. Enlightenment itself is a 4th-stage arhat. Enlightenment of others is 1G or above. 1G is first ground, second ground, third ground, and so forth. The delineation is very clear. If you make it a 4A, 4th-stage arhat, you are level 1. You make it to 1G, you are in the elite club. Okay? This club here of enlightened people, there are lots of people who are enlightened. They're members there. But there is another level of club membership where you actually are the elite. Okay? It's very much like in California, we have the 1%. Huh? Where you need to make a list, I'm told. $500,000 per year in salary to make it 1%. Yeah? Anyone? Why do you look down? I'm looking now. Okay? That's 1%. So the 1% is highly priced. Okay? But the next level is 0.1%. That's much higher. I don't even know what the number is. Anyone knows what 0.1% is in California? Anyone knows? No one knows? I'm told like $2-3 million per year of income. Never mind. Okay. So you see, when we talk about it, 1%, 0.1% is actually real. It's happened. It's not talk. It's actually a fact. Yes, you have a question here?
Emitofuo Master, I'm going to ask about what are some specific actions we can do to begin to help others to enlighten.
Specific, see? Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know how to do that. Anyone can help her out? I'm so far removed from you. I'm above here and you down there. Just kidding. Huh? How do we help others again? What specifically do we do? Yeah? Short answer, yes, Wei Mao. Do you have an answer or you have a new question?
I have an answer on helping people
Okay.
to enlightenment.
Silver beard, go ahead.
It seems to me that the only means to do this is by example, to live your life as close as you can to Buddha nature. The people that can perceive that are the ones that are open to learn, and they will learn. The others that aren't ready yet are not going to perceive it.
You know what it means? You know what it means? You know what it means? In Asian movies, kung fu movies, after the master teaches his pupil and the pupil has made it, and now he's demonstrating, he's, acha! And the master, So approval, approval. Very good, good answer. What did he just say? Did you get it?
Yeah, more or less.
What?
More or less.
More or less?
Yes.
Más o menos? You
Más
can
o
say
menos.
más o menos, okay. What did he
It's
say?
because I can hear like very good hard times with my, and the volume is like a little. But
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but not for you, Master.
No, he pauses. It's like important thing. Before he says something important, he pauses. Yeah, I think it is a case, and so forth. So what did you get? I want to make sure you get it. What did he say?
I
Más o
will.
menos.
Yeah, I would like. I think it's better that he can repeat it.
Okay,
Sorry.
Silverbeard, it's better you repeat it. Okay, ladies are never wrong, you know that. Repeat Silverbeard in one sentence.
People learn by now you got me tongue-tied. People will perceive the way to enlightenment by your actions and your experiences.
Okay, now I get it.
You get it now? Okay. So what he's
Thank you.
saying is it's fundamental in Buddhism. Before we teach, we preach you something, we must do it ourselves. We teach by example. So what is a fundamental thing for you to help others? Okay? By getting started, help. The mindset is all in the mindset. Yeah, you want to help others. Versus ordinary people, they are more focused upon helping themselves. Everything they do is to help themselves. Okay? Advance their career, making more money, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Okay? And that's capitalism. All right? But in Buddhism, with a capital B, okay? The way to happiness, the way to making a difference in the world has to be based upon helping others, okay? And especially at level number 2 here, enlightenment of others, the way to do that at this level is to do it by example, by doing it and not talk about it, okay? But what your question is about, at your level, what do you need to do? You need to believe in that paradigm shift. We are all trained, we all have been brainwashed to help ourselves, okay? And that process is self-limiting. Because, yes, you first start by helping yourself. Make sure you're stable, you earn your spot on this earth. Yes? But that's only a temporary phase. The next phase for you to elevate yourself is learn how to help others. And then what Silverbeard's talking about is when you get to a high level of helping others, then that has to be in the form of by example. You don't tell others to help others. You get up and you help others. You don't talk about it like I do. I only talk. I don't do anything. So
Thank
funny
you,
for
Master.
you, huh? I admit it. Okay, I'm a fake. Yes, you too.
Thank you, Master. I don't think we would consider you a fake, but I'll leave that for somebody else to get into. I have a question here. We have a question from Samson. Emitofuo Master, is it possible for lay people to reach first ground bodhisattva and above?
Yes, it is. There are plenty of lay people. I keep on telling you, a very famous lay person I used to admire is Buffet. He's not only enlightened, but he's actually pretty high level enlightenment. That's why it's baffling to me, his behavior. And someone has to tell him that. Shame on you. Yes, sir. 6.
Emitofuo Master, to be included in the 0.1%, here in California, you have to make at least 3.3 million.
In California, you heard it, 3.3 millions. Anyone who is 0.1%, raise your hand. Not us, you see. All right. And thank you very much. Isn't that amazing? I remember vaguely 3.4, but now it's gone down. Inflation is going back. ChatGPT. Oh, wow. Anyway, and so the second level is enlightenment of others, and there is so the short answer to your question is that everything we do here, it paves the way for you to get level 1, and then once you get the level 1, the foundation has been prepared for you to go to level 2 already. So foundation has been laid for you to go to level 1, and then at that level you can work more on your foundation and go to level 2. So everything here is geared towards that. Okay? That's what we do. And no one knows about it. That's what we pour. We don't sell it. But you can. You can sell me. Okay? All right. And number 3, perfected enlightenment is the Buddhas. Okay? So you see, it's fascinating for you in Buddhism. To me, it's fascinating to see the gradation, the standards. First level is you need to enlighten yourself, which is very practical. You suffer no more, and you are free from your own, what I like to call, mediocrity. Until you empty yourself, okay? You are a slave to your mediocrity. And there's so much that you can understand, like the boys over there, the 2 boys over there. They're not at level number 1 yet, so we can only teach them so much. Look at the face. He disagrees clearly. See? So young and so opinionated already. Okay? And so there's only so much we can tell them. And that's a fact. Same thing with adults. Until you become enlightened, you're enlightened to yourself, it's only so much we can go with you. You can go so far. Okay? And after that, then that's why the Buddha started paying attention. He says, wow, now this person can really absorb. What happens until you reach level of self-enlightenment, whatever we tell you, like the 2 boys there, they have a filter. They say, no, I don't like this. They pick and choose. They say, I don't like this. I don't want to play. I want to eat. Like yesterday, the other boy says, I want to go to a playground. I said, are you going to school? I said, no, I'm not going to school. I go to the playground. And he's adamant about it. He screamed like that for 10 minutes. I'm not going to school. You see, it's only so much they can get. Okay? And they're so cute, right? Am I right? The girl who likes boys? Okay? And so the Buddhas then really start paying attention to you because Now, because your ability to absorb, they pay more attention to wait for opportunities to nudge you towards the next level, and the next level, and next level. Until then, we have to babysit you. Buddha says, too low for me. Okay? It's not my job, it's your job. That's why, you know that I speak from facts, because that's why the Buddha came and he taught the best one in the world. They became enlightened, became, level 1, level 2, and so many of them level 1, level 2, and so forth. And Buddha looked at them and said, okay, good job, boys, I'm out of here, because the rest of them are hopeless. You take over. So that's now we're taking over. And look at the children. It's the same thing, like parents. They have to put up with them until they can absorb. See, the boys are disagreeing with me. It's so typical. Huh? That's so typical of you. We tell you, no, it's so much you can absorb. I disagree. What can you do? You see, it's you who pick and choose. It's you who filter. You say, okay, I like this, I keep this, I don't like that, and you throw it away. And you don't realize that it's what you throw away that will help you get to the next level. So that's why I advise you, it's very important, especially for the boys there, for you boys, okay? Don't reject, just listen, that's all. It does not have to make sense to you. Just listen, and one day it will pop. And you get it. Okay? I feel so much better today. Okay? And 98, final comment before we go to lunch, folks, is that he's bragging a little bit to me. Master YongHua. He says, this, before, he said, all activities are impermanent, everything is empty, and so forth. Okay, this is wisdom, this is enlightenment, that's correct. Okay, but for us Westerners, for the Chinese, it's okay to talk to them like this, but for us Westerners, we said, when you talk about Buddha, are you a Buddha? How can you talk about this is a great, perfect enlightenment, or does come one? Especially since I told you this Chan master is only 7G. So who is he? He's so low in the Buddhist world to be talking about the Buddha's level of enlightenment. So for us, it's kind of bragging, So boys and girls, especially you going back to your K-land, don't do that. You go back, you behave yourself in the most humble way, and except for Tung Dosa. You go there and you, here I am! Okay, that's the only place I allow you to be yourself. The rest, you pretend to be humble. No. You go first, you eat first. Okay? That's how we train ourselves. Okay? When you're tired of it, you drive to Tung Dosa and, hey, where's the food? Okay? But you speak louder when you're humble. In your country, they pay attention to that. The people who have no wisdom will be impressed by the noise, by people like me who are loud, who are so vocal about politics and about red face and orange face, whatever. Okay, it's comical to them. But in your country, okay, in the old world, in the old country, okay, it's those who are quiet, who are selfless, who are respected. They say, yeah, that's a proper monk. Got it? You don't have to do anything, just more self-effacing. How do you translate that into K language. Self-effacing. It's like you take a rubber and you rub yourself. Your picture, what people perceive of you. Let me explain to you this process. It's very important for you to practice. When we meet with someone, in your mind, you have a picture of what that person perceives you, or what you want that person to see you. Translation, have you got it? Okay? Then you take a rubber, because there's a drawing there, like the boys are doing. They're drawing something, you take a piece of rubber and you rub it off. So that you see less and less of the picture. So you have to learn from Master Z how to walk. I taught him how to walk. He needs to teach you how to walk. I taught him how to walk. Okay? You have to walk. You learn to not draw attention to yourself. Okay? By the way you sit, by the way you talk, by the way you walk. Okay? If you do that, that is wisdom. And you'll be praised by the great assembly. No one will be able to recognize it, but this is what we want to strive for. Recognition from the people in the know. Okay? Children, they like you one day. Next moment, they will not like you. That's life. You don't worry about it. But these people, once you get into their radars, it's forever. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So intense. Let's go to lunch. Thank you, everyone.